The entire city seemed to be talking about the same thing that morning. A rare $200 million supercar belonging to the mayor's daughter had suddenly broken down during a public charity event. Reporters, wealthy car collectors, and famous automotive experts gathered around the vehicle, trying to figure out what had gone wrong. The car was considered one of the rarest machines in the world, and its failure had become front-page news. As the crowd grew larger, people exchanged theories and predictions. Most believed that only a highly paid specialist from a luxury manufacturer could solve the problem and get the valuable car running again. Among the crowd stood a struggling single-dad mechanic named Ethan. He owned a small repair shop on the edge of town and spent most of his days fixing old trucks, family sedans and delivery vans. When someone suggested that Ethan take a look at the supercar, laughter spread through the gathering. Wealthy experts smirked and whispered among themselves. They pointed at his worn work clothes and old toolbox as proof that he did not belong there. Some openly mocked him, saying that a neighborhood mechanic had no chance of understanding a machine worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Their comments drew even more laughter from the spectators. The mayor's daughter was frustrated and embarrassed. The expensive car had been the centerpiece of the event, and now it sat motionless in front of cameras and guests. Several specialists had already inspected it, connecting diagnostic devices and checking complex systems, but none had found the cause of the failure. Time passed, and confidence in the experts began to fade. Although she doubted him at first, the mayor's daughter eventually agreed to let Ethan inspect the vehicle. Many people rolled their eyes at the decision. Some reporters even prepared stories predicting an embarrassing failure before he had touched a single tool. Ethan ignored the noise around him. He approached the car calmly and carefully studied every detail. Instead of rushing to impress the crowd, he listened closely to the sounds coming from the vehicle and examined its components one by one. Years of repairing countless engines had taught him that every machine leaves clues when something is wrong. While the experts focused on expensive electronics and advanced software, Ethan paid attention to small signs that others considered unimportant. He noticed an unusual pattern near a critical system and quietly continued his investigation without drawing attention to what he had found. As the minutes passed, the crowd became restless. Some people laughed again, convinced that Ethan was wasting time. Others watched with curiosity because he appeared unusually confident. Then he discovered a hidden issue that no one else had noticed. It was a small but critical fault buried deep within the car's system, something the expensive diagnostic equipment had overlooked. Ethan realized that this single problem was preventing the entire vehicle from operating correctly. Without making a speech or seeking attention, he gathered the necessary tools and prepared to fix it. The crowd fell silent, and even the experts stopped talking. For the first time that day, everyone wondered if the mechanic they had mocked was about to prove them completely wrong. Ethan carefully reached into the section where he had discovered the hidden fault. While the experts had relied on expensive computers and complicated scans, he trusted the experience he had gained from years of solving difficult mechanical problems. The issue turned out to be surprisingly simple, but it was hidden in a place most people would never think to check. Using a few basic tools from his old toolbox, he adjusted the damaged component and secured it properly. The crowd watched closely, expecting another failure. Instead, Ethan stepped back calmly, wiped his hands, and signaled that the car was ready to be tested. The mayor's daughter hesitated before pressing the start button. Reporters raised their cameras, and the experts exchanged doubtful looks. For a brief moment, the entire area became silent. Then the supercar's engine suddenly roared to life with a powerful sound that echoed across the event grounds. The vehicle operated perfectly, as if nothing had ever been wrong. Gasps spread through the crowd. Some people stared in disbelief, while others applauded loudly. The experts who had mocked Ethan moments earlier stood speechless. They could not understand how a mechanic they had dismissed had solved a problem that none of them had been able to identify. The mayor's daughter stepped out of the vehicle with tears of relief in her eyes. She thanked Ethan sincerely and admitted that she had underestimated him. Reporters immediately surrounded the mechanic, asking how he had accomplished what the specialists could not. Ethan remained humble and explained that experience, patience, and attention to detail were often more valuable than expensive equipment. His answer impressed many people, even more than the repair itself. Videos of the moment spread rapidly across social media. Within hours, millions of people had watched the mechanic bring the priceless car back to life. By the next morning, Ethan's story had become the biggest topic in the city. News stations featured interviews about his remarkable achievement, and newspapers praised his determination. Customers who had never heard of his small repair shop began lining up outside the building. Business owners offered partnerships, and automotive companies expressed interest in meeting him. The same wealthy experts who had laughed at him now publicly admitted that they had been wrong. Several even visited his shop to apologize. Ethan accepted their apologies politely, showing the same professionalism and kindness that had helped him earn respect throughout his career. A few days later, the mayor invited Ethan to a special ceremony at City Hall. In front of community leaders, reporters, and residents, he was recognized for his honesty, skill, and perseverance. The mayor announced a life-changing opportunity that would allow Ethan to expand his business and create jobs for others in the community. The audience responded with a standing ovation. Looking around the room, Ethan remembered the years of struggle he had faced as a single father, trying to provide for his family. What began as a moment of humiliation had become the turning point of his life. His success proved that true talent, hard work, and character can overcome even the harshest judgment and the loudest doubts.